Hello, everybody. Just turn that music down. It got real sad, real quick there, the music. I thought it was going to be really positive and nice. And then it's just been all like... Hello, everybody. Can you hear me all right? Is this working? Seems to be working. Oh my goodness me, we've already got so many things happening in the chat. Way, it's Posh Joe. Thanks. Yep. That's making its way onto this channel as well. Thanks, Joe. Hello, Lehman Russ. Malige. Benny Stead, hello. Hi, Chris. Vicious Goose, already with the 20. That's very, very kind of you, sir. Bro, mental health is a serious thing. Take some time off. I would encourage going to the gym and going out for jogs. The chemicals it releases are needed. Also the vitamin D. Take care of yourself. That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you very much. Good evening, Kurt. Good evening to everybody. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute since we last did a live stream. I think the last time we did one. Dave says, hi, Posh Joe. Thanks. That's me. Yeah, I can't remember the last one I did. Was it Adepticon? I think it might have been Adepticon. And yeah, I thought we would do one tonight. And I would just talk you through how my brain's been the last week or so. Because my brain took a little nosedive for a few days. And I think it's really important to share that with all of you. Just to be kind of honest about such things, rather than kind of giving off this air of being invincible, which I'm certain I've never given off. But I figured I would do a stream tonight where we could talk about our feelings, and maybe we'll paint some Deathwing. Maybe we'll do that as well. Would you like to see some Deathwing? Or would you like to see a Hammers of Sigmar thing? One of the two. Maybe we'll do one of those. Nathaniel says I just need a haircut. I had one not too long ago. I do need to sort my beard out, but I will do it before Warhammer Fest. Because if I do it now, I won't do it before Warhammer Fest, because I'll simply run out of time. Deathwing. So yeah, I thought we could have a little chat about my brain, and maybe any of the stuff that I have felt in the last week. I mean, you guys who've been around for a while have seen me do a couple of these streams in the past, where I talk about things like that, and I feel like it's important for people like me to always have this conversation, and for all of us to have conversations about this sort of thing so that we normalize it. And I think being able to do a live stream like this in front of all of you wonderful, amazing people out there, all 105 of you, there's loads of people here, which is amazing. Hello to all the new folks. Do leave a like on the stream if you've got one to donate. That would be very nice. Helps promote the content, and it's a great way of doing it for free. But yeah, I think it's important that people who are visible, such as myself, are able to sort of have conversations with you guys when things aren't okay. Because I think if we all think everybody's all okay, then we wonder why we're not. If you see what I mean. And I don't want anyone watching these videos to ever feel like it's not okay to be not okay. So, and that's something that I struggle with all the time, is knowing that it's okay to be not okay, as it were. Are we talking about World of Warcraft Deathwing? I do want to do that, a Deathwing dragon. I need to get a Crondis kit to do that. Hey, Lehman Russ. Good evening, Critical Focus. Yoran says, hey, Warhipster gave me a really accessible way to get into the hobby of painting miniatures using the contrast method. I'm very glad. Very glad. I am okay. Thought you were like Angron. Yes, I am. Full of rage. Pent up rage all of the time. Seething. And I return to live streaming once every 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 hours, 8 minutes, or whatever the hell the moniker is. But yeah, like, so last week, I had this like 3 or 4 day period where I was I was editing 4 videos at once. I was painting the 3 big boys, and I was building 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22, 23, 33 models. I was doing all of it at once, and I was like, I was riding like this at the top, and then I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, and I just sat down at the desk and I felt immobilized. I couldn't do anything. I was just staring at all the stuff I had in front of me, and I just had this huge mountain of things, and I was like, whoa, this is big. What's going on here? And I just sat back in my chair and just started playing mobile games. And I realized after an hour that's all I'd done, and then I felt hideous. I think I posted something on Instagram, saying about days where I don't get to put paint on models make me feel like I'm a failure. And I know I shouldn't feel like it, but it was one of those days where I felt like that. And it's a tough position that I'm in, because I make videos in order to pay the rent. And I shouldn't feel like that, you see. So I make my videos and all this kind of thing, and it is the primary source of income for me, so that I pay my way within the house. So when I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm kind of giving up, which is terrible. Hang on, I need to change this music because it makes it sound much sadder than it is. There is a nice point to all of this. Hang on. The song's called "Across the Lake." Let's just do this. Instrumentals. There we go. This is better. This is much more speakeasy. Oh, you guys are being incredibly generous. Mark, thank you very much for the 5. Just wanted to drop in and say I loved your League of Votan so much that I ended up doing it for my own army. Thank you so much, and hope you're doing good. I am doing okay, thank you, buddy. And I'm so glad you're doing the Leagues of Votan sponsored by EE. They're not sponsored by EE, but it does look like that. Dave says, agree 100%. There is such a stigma around mental health and keeping it hidden from the world. The fact that you are willing and able to talk about it is just amazing. The community is lucky to have you. Oh, that's very kind of you, David. It's very, very kind of you. So, yeah, this is the thing. Oh, Liam, thank you very much for the membership. That's very kind of you, sir. My man. Guys, if you haven't already and you want to see some epic content, please make sure you head over to Liam Dempsey. And if you want to see me playing Call of Duty, you can head up to LT Demps. I will get the links up. I shall bang those into the chat, because I'm a noob and I don't have anything to do it automatically for me. But yeah, so I make these videos, and they're important for me because that's how I make my money. And when I don't have them ready to go, then I struggle, and I feel like I'm letting you guys down. Liam. Liam out here gifting 10 subs. That is incredibly generous of you, sir. guys, if you've just received a membership from Liam, make sure to thank him and make sure to go and subscribe to his channel. Both the channels that I've dropped in there as links in the chat. Where was I? I threw on my train of thought. Yeah, so last week I was sat there, and it was on that day. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and I just kind of took this total nosedive, and I did this kind of really obsessive behavior that I have, where I just look and stare at my my own progress. So I went and I started obsessively refreshing things like sub count numbers and stuff like that, and just being like, see, you're a failure. Stop now. Stop doing this now. Never paint again. And it was this 20-minute, an hour-long period where I was just like, holy cow, what the hell just happened to me? And then I perked right back up. I thought, this is all good. But then I was like, there's a window where that thought overtook everything. And I was like, that to me is either some kind of form of anxiety or something like that around other things that are happening in my life, or that's a form of depression that's rearing its head, right? And I was like, I need to go and do something healthy. So I went and did something healthy, and had a little sit down, having just sat down for about an hour. Went back and made a bunch of videos and got a bunch of stuff done, and I felt good. But then I was kind of sat there, kind of feeling uncomfortable within myself for feeling that way for a couple of days, and it was like I discovered some form of weakness within myself, and I felt ashamed by it, but I didn't have any reason to, and I shouldn't have felt ashamed by it. And so I'm laying this all out for you guys out there, because I know that a lot of us have moments like this, or have much more severe conditions and things like that, where they sit and they live with such things. And I want you to know that, like, it's never a good idea to kind of sit and get into those moments where you're looking entirely externally. At least for me, it's not. And going, well, I'm not that, so therefore I am not what I want to be. And I think that is possibly a degree of that, because that's what I mean, that obsessive behavior of refreshing and looking at those statistics and things and just being like, why is this number not this? And so, yeah, I was just kind of sat in that space and in that headspace. And I think it's really important to have this conversation, because I know that a number of you have messaged me in the past saying, like asking me things about burnout and comparison and how improving and feeling like you're not getting anywhere and this, that, and the other, doing all of that stuff. And it's a tough thing that I think we all struggle with. And I think when you look at a channel like mine where I'm pumping the videos out, you might think, well, I should be doing what he's doing. And I'm struggling with what I'm doing. And my goodness me, you guys are being incredibly, incredibly generous. I have to scroll up. That's never happened before. Ass Crush'em. It's a fantastic name. Hope you get better soon. I love your videos. The perfect balance of speed and quality. You give me motivation to slay the grey. Take care of yourself, King. You, sir, are the king. Thank you very much. Thank you. I always find Death in Fire by Amon Amarth is good background music. Amon Amarth is great background music. I generally veer towards more like what I'm listening to now, because I know if I get really into my music has this effect, this emotional effect upon me in those moments where I feel a certain thing. Like if I'm pinpointed onto a certain emotion and that's the mood for me in that particular moment, the right song at the right moment will just lock me straight into that. So I generally try to stay in the shallow end of music when I'm trying to work. Evil Badger, mental health matters. It's essential for us all that we feel able to talk about it. Too many people bottle it up and it just gets worse. Evil Badger, you are absolutely 100% correct. Um, hey, Painter of Chaos. Captain Mannerings, thank you very much for becoming a member. ADL Wargame, I'm going to shoot down to Cheltenham and get you beefy boys. Yes, everybody out there, if you ever come my way, come out to Cheltenham and you want to hang out, I will take you to Beefy Boys because it was a revelation. And Alice is the one who introduced me to, who took me to my first Beefy Boys in Hereford. It's the best burgers you'll ever have in the UK. Don't ever be ashamed. If you are suffering from mental health, there are lots of people out there who are willing to help, and just remember all your friends and family love you. Well, thank you very much, Lehman Russ. I love you as well. I like to... What I kind of want to say as well as part of this conversation is I am your friend out there if you ever feel like these kinds of similar feelings that I'm talking about tonight. I am your friend and I love you. In so many ways. I said this on Instagram. I put this in a post. We might not have met, although I'm hoping to change that at Warhammer Fest. I hope to meet every single one of you that is going. But we might not have met. We might not have spoken. But just know that I do love you. Because I feel all of your love coming back at me. And I know that you guys are there for me. And you're proving it tonight, obviously. But... I'm also there for you, and I will always endeavour to be your friend, because you are all my friends, and I love you very much. Chris gifted 10 Warhipster memberships. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, you guys. You guys. Mark, thank you very much for the $9.99. If you got a gifted membership from Chris, do make sure to say thank you. And Adam's gone and gifted 10 memberships. We're going to get everybody on this chat is going to be a membership. You guys tonight have already, that's a 50% increase in the amount of memberships on the channel. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Carl of Hodgie, I can't hear your voice without needing to paint now. Have I got an association with you? Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial. Oh God, I must paint! Deathwing makes up a pretty good proxy for Karazai. Deathwing really would make a good proxy for Karazai. Dave, thank you so much for becoming a member. Love your show. I never would have painted demons without your support. Peter, that's very kind of you. I never would have painted demons without Be'lakor. So I thank him, and then I thank you. We love you too, man. Oh, there's so much love out there in the chat. You hear that in your dreams. Sophie, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Love to you from the UK. I am feeling better, Mr. Demonic Gaming 15. I do love your Contrast Plus style. Thank you so much. There are a lot of familiar names crossing over from the LT Demps channel. Liam's come in like the hero he is. He's self-revived me. Oh no, Peter, please don't feel bad about that. Absolutely don't. I'm okay. Like I said, I had this nosedive last week, and rather than kind of cover it up and not talk about it, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that I had a nosedive. And I also want to open this can of delicious drink, which I'm going to do. That was so gross. I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to slurp it like that. Yeah, no. So, like I said, last week had this nosedive, and I got out of it. And it's not always the case that everyone can always get out of it. And I'm very lucky that I have a platform on which to share and talk about it. And I have lots of people out there who do message me and say, hey, hope you're okay. And I will get back to everybody who messaged me. I'm sorry I didn't. I was just trying to move forward and not think about it. But then I thought tonight I simply must talk about it and go back to that, so that we're normal. Like I said earlier, like we're normalizing things and we're talking about these types of things. Because as I've said in the past, I don't suffer with sort of codified conditions or anything like that. I wouldn't say that I'm somebody who has anxiety or depression or anything like that. I wouldn't say that that's who I am, but I know what a lot of people who do have it and have described it to me, and I know when I have those feelings of moments of things that I can't get out of. So they're infrequent, but when they happen, they're massive, and it's important for me to talk about this with you guys, and it helps me continue to keep the motivation to keep going forward and keep making the content that I make, and keep being assured that being the Warhipster and doing this full time is still the right way to go. And it's been 3 years now that I've been doing this. I think coming up on 3 years. No. 3 years full time? No, it can't be. I can't remember how long I've lived here. Alice will know. If she's in the chat, she'll tell me how long it's been. It's definitely been 2. Might be coming up on the 3-year full-time anniversary. But back then it was a case of let's just try it and see, and let's see if it works. And it's been really hard work to get to where we're at now, and it's going to continue to be really hard work, and it's hard work that I'm prepared to do because I could never do anything else now because I've experienced this. But it's the same problems I think everybody's faced. You wish you had a little bit more money, you wish you had a little bit more time, you wish things were a little bit easier, and I'm just in this kind of really difficult, very privileged position, being like, oh, it's so hard being a YouTuber, and it's like, that's such a pathetic thing to complain about, if you see what I mean. And I get stuck in this thing of like, who do I talk to about that? Like, because I talk to Alice about it all the time, and I talk to my parents about it, but it's like, it kind of feels like you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, or you're just kind of you're throwing a tantrum, where you're going, I'm doing this thing that everybody wishes they could do, and I'm complaining about it. And then I have to kind of go, well, no, I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about my brain did something to me. And this is the fields in which I live in, if you see what I mean. And so I'm eternally grateful for everything that I've ever been given, and the position that I'm in. I'm eternally grateful for all of that. And that's why for me it's always so important that you guys get everything, as it were. What I mean is, like, the support that I get from everybody out there, everybody who's watching right now, everybody who watches this later, and everybody who watches every video, I owe you everything. And you kind of saved me. And I don't know if that's a silly thing to think, but it's like, I owe you for saving me, and I kind of feel that weight of responsibility sometimes. And it's like, if I don't produce the content, then I'm letting you guys down, all you out there who made my life possible. And I don't know if that's a terrible thing to think. I don't think it is. I think that's the right way to think about it. But at the same time, it's also like, have a day off. Oh, you guys are all being very nice and very generous. Josh, without your tutorials, I would have never tackled my cruel boys and painted them to such a standard. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rock Golem. That's very kind of you. Jack, Member for 17 months. Absolute legend. Ass Crush'em. Welcome to Skirmish Hipster. Thank you very much. What's it like carrying Liam on card? I don't carry him. Joe carries both of us. Kianon. Welcome to Battle Hipster. Welcome. When I hear your voice, I get the urge to become a better chiropractor. Well, you know, that is the most important thing in the realms of Al Mazrah. Glad I could join in. Thank you. You're the reason I switched to contrast paint. Your videos are quite calming. Also, will you ever paint the Lord Celestant on Stardrake? I'll tell you what, I might try and strip mine instead of selling it. Do you need a hug, Josh? Always, Ash. Especially from you. I've not seen you in many, many years. You owe me a hug. Are you going to be at Warhammer Fest? I'd love to get together with all of you and just tell you how much you all mean to me and how important it is for me that you guys are all okay and enjoying your painting and getting the miniatures painted to the way that you want them to look. If it's any help, think ahead to when we win the pub quiz at Warhammer Fest. I'm so terrible at pub quizzes, I should just warn you now. Awful minis. Jack, my man. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for becoming a member. That's very kind of you. 36 new members. That puts us on like 90. With new... Make sure everybody who's picked up a membership tonight to come join us in the Discord. It's the best place to be. There is a Discord. There is a Discord. It should have given you a link. I'll put a post, a members only post, out on the channel going. I don't have any bots, I'm afraid. Otherwise I would say put !Discord. I'll put a members only post out on the channel and you'll be able to follow that link if it's not there. It should be a benefit though. It is a benefit. I'll go and check that out. Liam, I know you. That is very, very generous of you. Thank you so much. I reckon we could do more 40k crossovers. Should we do it? Should we do 10 videos for 10th edition? Should we get together? Should we plan it? Let's get together at Warhammer Fest and let's write some videos. Let's do it. It didn't send Rufus Kit. What did it say? Konstantin Eckhart, don't let your brain guilt trap you. You've inspired many people to go and pick up painting, and every one of those people is a gift from you to the community. Oh, that's an incredibly nice way to put it. Thank you. I'm going to live stream a COD thing with Liam next week, I think, on Monday. We need to get him over 1,000 subs so we can monetize the channel. LT Demps. Let me drop that channel again. If you're not already subscribed, gang, get there. Christopher Brucker, your Battle Force Agastus Blood Angels made layering contrast click for me and elevated my painting. I can't thank you enough. Oh no, I can't thank you enough for the $9.99. That's very kind of you. Thank you. You were just being lazy. Oh, okay, is there? Good. You've been great to us all, and I've learned a lot watching your videos. It's always enjoyable to hear from you. Yamel, that's very, very kind of you. Let's see if... Can you stop giving me COD FOMO, please? The missus won't let me have the PS5 or gaming PC until we're actually in the new house. I don't know if it works on your Mac, but it might. Drop into the DMZ, Adam. Let's paint something, shall we? Everything else is secondary. Most important thing is to make sure you are right. It sound like that is very serious of you, yes. Your vids are great and really help me and many others who lurk, lol, but please don't feel the pressure of our happiness on top of your own pressures, if that makes any sense, lol. It's the thing, Sandor. Everything is so connected for me. I'm like, if I get so happy whenever I hear that people are happy because I've painted my stuff the way I have and that they followed a video of mine and that the video has helped. I love that. I love that so much. Liam sent us to raid you. Liam is an absolute legend tonight. He's always a legend. Inflation has made the Canadian dollar worth a little less than it used to be, but I hope this helps a lot. My liege, it helps a lot. It all helps a lot. It's 142 likes on the stream. It's a raid. It's a full-on raid. I'm going to have to send you folks over to Mr. Liam. Oh my god. Sheep Avenger, thank you very much. Crisis, thank you very much for the 5. Mr. Noob, one of my long-time friends here on this channel. You're so generous all of the time. Thank you so much for that 50. That's incredible. You know, you guys, I bought, for the purpose of Warhammer Fest, I bought this excellent kit of stuff. So you're going to see me walking around with a camera and things. I desperately want to talk to all of you. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, the generosity is overwhelming. My goodness me. Peter Blake, thank you so much for the $1.99. Jill, thank you for the 1. Carl of Hodgie has gifted 20 Warhipster memberships. And that means that tonight we have doubled our membership count in one stream. And that was my goal for the year, was to get over 100. And that's a doubling out. You guys. Why did you guys do this to me? You just you come on here and you look after me and you inspire me to do bigger and greater things. Tyler, thank you so much for the 2. Waitrose Joe, that's a new one. I'm picking up so many memberships. Nicknames. Tell Mighty Joey is now called Less Posh Josh. Less posh, Josh. Rimini, Hungry Bert, thank you for the 5 and the 2. Ta-ta for now, Crisis. Hope to see you at Warhammer Fest. I will hope to see you too. I will be there with bells on. What's the chair and is it comfy? This is a chair this is an IKEA office chair. And yes, it's perfectly comfy. This chair is a nightmare. Everyone who comes over sits in that chair and always goes, is it meant to do that? Because it immediately goes, and no, it's not meant to do that. Well, it is. That is what it does. It's a broken chair. It's a broken ass chair that I've needed to replace for about a year and a half, and I just can't afford to. Oh my god. Peter gifted 10 memberships. Leston Jones gifted another 5. I think the Discord's going to pop off tonight, don't you guys? Make sure you guys join the Discord and come join the wonderful 71 new members. That is less posh, Josh. Kai, loves everything you do. Keep going, keep swinging. I will keep swinging for all of you. You're making it very hard to want to paint this Deathwinger. I mean, that looks very weird. I'm no longer Joe now. Gretja, have you considered a series where we send in our work and you give feedback? Yeah, it's called A Tale of Many Warhipsters, and I need to bring it back, and I need to finish the plans and launch it again. We shall bring it back. We shall bring it back. It will make its long-awaited return. Season 2. People have been waiting for it, I know. So why is this camera now freaking out when it comes to... It's just kind of really... If I message you, we'll have to arrange to meet up at Warhammer Fest. I'd love to be able to thank you in person. Peter, yeah, no, please do. Please do. I'll be walking around Warhammer Fest and I'll tell you where I am at all times in the Discord, on Instagram. I'll be like, hey, come over here. I only started Warhammer since January. Yes, no, so it happened, do you know, it happened last year and we concluded it at the end of last year in November. That was the first season. The second season needs to kick off. I've been meaning to do it, and it's just been a case of finding the time. But I think we might kick it off this weekend at Warhammer Fest. Scrooge, I've been feeling really meh these past weeks. Did an interview for a job at my old company that a director recommended me for and just been ghosted by them. Just sent me into a bit of a spiral. Scrooge, when I used to work for Sky, I was told, and maybe this will help you, maybe it won't, but I was told by a senior manager that I was perfect for the next roll up, and did I have my blessing to recruit for it, and I would be given an interview. And I said, yes, absolutely, of course. You don't need my blessing, but whatever. And they said, well, this person, if you weren't successful, but I suspect you would be, this person would be your line manager. I said, okay, fine, yeah, no, absolutely. Put the job out, and then when I applied, was rejected out of hand by this person. So I said, well, why was I rejected out of hand? And they said, well, you're actually 5 years away from being ready for this. And my response was, so I have to stay in this post for 5 years before you would have even considered me for that role? And They said yes. So why did we have that conversation where you said I was? And they said, well, you are ready for it, but you need 5 years of experience before you would be considered. So that's why you were not considered for the role. I said, well, that's completely conflicting messages. And I went away, and it was in that conversation that I realized I was not destined to stay there forever. And I thought I would, because I'd been there for 4.5 years. Moving through various different jobs, various ranks, going up the ranks, and I thought I was going to be a career man there, and that I'd done good work, and that I was really valued there as an employee. And then I was just taken off at the knees by that, and so I went away, and I can't remember what it was. I was watching a television show, or I was listening to a piece of music or something, and something clicked to me, and it was just about how each and every single one of us is worthy of what we believe, and we just have to make that choice to believe. And if we make that choice to believe, then we have to ask ourselves, what's the path to get there? And I believed in my heart of hearts that I was ready for that next step up, and I believed in my own worth. And as an individual, I believed that I didn't need to wait 5 years, so I left. I left a month later, and I did go up into that job, into a different company, and it was pretty good. It was in fact too easy, and I left that job eventually because I realized I'd done everything I needed to do in that field of work. But it happens. But I just need you to hear, buddy, that I believe in you, and you should believe in you too. Jill, thank you very much for becoming a member. Stick Monkey, thank you very much for becoming a member. James, the only bad thing about following your tutorials is the amount of money I've spent on you damn paints. Keep up the great videos. I'm sorry, James. I was discussing a format change last night with a friend of mine. And let me know what you guys think of this. But I've been thinking that post Warhammer Fest, any content that I make, what we might do is not split the videos into 2 videos, but split the videos in half. We're at the halfway point. When it gets to Warhipster Battle Ready, that'll be when I put the texture paint on, and this is where I would stop if you didn't want to go any further, so that the video will basically be contained with 2 different paints lists. Because I get it, right? It's when I do those big videos and there's like 30 or 40 paints, it just looks like a wall. And sometimes I look at them and go, ooh, I'm lucky because I have all of these paints. But I worry that it'll make others out there go, eesh, that's too much. But sometimes with some models, like, I don't know, even with something like Gilliman's video, like the Battle Ready stage, I only used like 12. But then everything beyond that is what pushes it way over. So I'm thinking about doing a format change where, my spinning turntable shot, that actually we get the model to the Warhipster Battle Ready stage, pop it on the turntable, take a video of it then, so you see the full 360 of it, and you can just go, hey, do you know what, I like that, and you can just switch the video off from that point onwards, or you can continue on to the next bit. That's why I've been thinking about making that change, and then kind of creating 2 kind of sections of, this was the paints used at the Battles Ready, this is the paints used at the Parade Ready stage. And Dave actually suggested that we split the list like that, but I'm thinking of splitting the video like that. And I'd be interested to get what you get your impressions about what you think about that as a gang. I haven't painted anything in 3 weeks. Got overwhelmed recently by a mere man-skewer bolt boy. Got this Ogroid Therodon Myrmidon primed instead, but I'm too afraid I'm going to mess him up. Love the mini. Or Zach, I got overwhelmed by... at Christmas, I got overwhelmed by the Chaos Warriors. The one with the flag. I had to stop. I had to go away for 2 hours. I thought I was gonna muck it all up. I was painting them, and it's about halfway point in the video. I cut it out because I went, I can't do this. I'd just done it, and I can't do this. It's too much, and I walked away. And I came back and I finished it. Point is you can do it. I believe in you, bud. I love you too, Rez. Benny Stead, £10. Thank you. I'm following your Custodes Solar Watch how to paint halfway through, but it may be my best model so far. So thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. I do love that colour scheme. Hive My Minis, thank you very much for the 5. Leaf, welcome to Skirmish Hipster. Thank you for becoming a member. That's very kind of you. Tabletop ready and parade ready equals yes. Captain Bannerings has many paints, so I nick his. Good. I'm getting the Slaves to Darkness Vanguard box for my GW's anniversary event. What else would you recommend? To go with your Slaves to Darkness? Why, of course, Eternus, Blade of the First Prince, and another box of Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights are legendary. They're very good in the new edition. It shouldn't hurt it too much, Ben, because I think at that point people have watched time. My watch time is on average about 10 minutes anyway. And we already do it in the video. I go, so with that done, this model is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, but we're not going to leave him there. No, we're going to take him to the next level. And we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights, or shades and layers and highlights, or blending of shades and layers and highlights sometimes. I don't know if it will. That's why I want to trial it, but I also want to know that format maybe works for you guys. I do have another question that I would love to discuss with all of you, and it's about when I put my tutorials live, because I would love to know if the video coming out on the day that it goes on pre-order is useful. Does that give you confidence that you can buy the model and then paint it? Or would you rather that you saw something on the day that it's actually in your hand, so a week later? And this is a question I've had for myself for a long time, is when is the content best served for you guys? Because when it's best served for me is when you get your video out first, because you get max views. But when you get stuff ahead of time, you can put it out really any time during that week before if it's a popular model, you see, so it doesn't really matter. That sounds good to me. That's as far as I take most models. About how hard is Angron to paint, thinking of getting him, but never done a model that big. Angron isn't that hard to paint. I would recommend leaving the wing, doing it in a sub assembly by just leaving the wing off. I didn't, because I'm me, but leaving the wings off. Adam will testify to this, that whilst you've got lots of colours on there, it's mostly red, black and brass. So with my Angron video, when you get it up to that, I think I say it's Warhipster battle ready, although it's not really, because we go a lot further in it, because there's dry brushing and all that kind of thing that happens before we get there. That's a really good point to do it at. Drew, that sounds like a great idea. Splitting the video as such. Can confirm I'm also intimidated by a wall of required paints, and that for me, Drew, is the hard one, because it's like I can't communicate in the video in such a way without putting a break in, I think, of doing here it is at this stage. Now let's see what it looks like when we take it to the next level, without saying you don't have to do all of these bits. Because I think that's what extends the list out so much, you see what I mean? Oh, Reza. 49.99. You're the best hobbyist and the best human going. No, that's you and every single one of the 135 other people out there watching. That's so very kind of you. Thank you very, very much for that. Are you going to paint the new Seraphon, Josh? Yes, I am going to paint the new Seraphon. Because they're cool. And I'd like an army of dinosaurs riding dinosaurs. So of course I'm going to do them. I wouldn't be your friendly neighborhood Warhipster if I didn't support you in another faction. Because we're going to get around to having something for all of them eventually one day. Jake says, love to the Warhipster. Love to Jake. He gave me the inspiration and the job to paint the Dark Kraken's Blade Guard, and I really like that scheme. And I want to rob it from you, but I'm not going to. I promise. Howling Griffins. Quartered schemes. That's what you're after. I see you. You want me to do the hard ones. What I want to do is I would love to post 10th edition once we see what's in that box. I'd like to do another set of chapter painting of Space Marines, and I'll need at least 10 more. So Howling Griffins, Brazen Claws, Minotaurs, they're on my list to do. What's the White Dwarf one? Tome Keepers, they're on my list. I've also got a feeling I'm going to do a poll and see if I'm starting a new Space Marine army, unless all of the contents of that box of Blood Angels are appropriate. Bradley, 9.99. You've helped both my painting and mental health. Your videos have a fantastic Zen quality. Hoping you make tutorials for the new Seraphon models. Oh yeah, it's absolutely going to happen. Don't you worry. I will get my hands on the Seraphon one way or another, and it will happen. I promise. And Croak will happen as well. I know someone will have asked this in the chat, and they will have said it somewhere. But Croak will happen. He's primed and ready to go. I just need time. Pattern 631. I just wanted to let you know that because of your painting techniques, I've entered the Golden Demon competition. Can't wait for your Seraphon videos. Stay strong, brother. Does that mean we're in direct competition, Pattern 361? I have also entered Golden Demon. But that was a struggle for me as well, because I did a couple of Golden Demon streams about building a diorama, and I really want to do that, but I just ran out of time to get that done. And then I made this decision that actually for Golden Demon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my favorite painted pieces in the last 6 months, and I would love to just win a pin, because I think at least if I win a pin, then I can be even more confident that the content that I make for you is of a quality that you guys deserve. So like if Archaon wins a pin, because he's going to be one of my Golden Demon submissions, then I can be like, hey, you know that video, if you follow that video, you get pin worthy got Archaon, and that's great. I don't think Lionel Johnson will be very far away. Hunter SWC, can't wait for some Seraphon tutorials. Dinos riding dinos, come on! I mean, exactly, come on. Dinos riding dinos. Flyan says, sorry, I didn't make myself clear. Trying to paint Fulgrim's lads and failing. Splitting videos is a great idea. Keep up the awesome work. I absolutely will, my friend. I'm completely new to the world of Warhammer, and watching your videos has helped to inspire me with my painting. That's very kind of you, Joe. I'm glad to help. Laura says, Ideneth? Yes, I really want to get some Ideneth. I haven't picked any up. What I might do at Fest is I might pick up an Eidolon of Mathlan if they have one there and try and do it, because I'm desperate to paint the Mathlan. Because he's such a cool model, and I really do need to get some Ideneth on this channel, and I need to pick up some more Soulblight Gravelords because I need to start a Death Army. The Knights of Maha. Yes, I mean I could do one for you, Chew, but you're the expert on it. You should make a video for the channel on how to paint them. Got back into painting in January after a 19-year break. Your videos have helped me so much in improving my skill to something I'm very proud of. Currently painting a Bloodthirster in a Contrast Plus style. Christopher, you legend. Thank you very much for the $9.99. And also, Bloodthirsters are wicked. If you guys are again at Warhammer Fest, you'll be able to see me on the Monday playing Warhammer, where I will have my Be'lakor, my Scarbrand, and a few other little demons. And I will be taking skulls for Khorne's name. Where does the Warhipster name come from? Well, basically the Warhipster name comes from my friend Chris, who always from pretty much the first moment that I met him, always referred to me as a hipster. Especially when he was doing things that were quite hipstery things. Like him getting his fancy iced coffees and things like that. And I was just like, can I just have a Coke or a water? And it'd be like, you hipster. This kind of thing. It literally comes from that. And then it just sounded a little bit like Warhammer. So I was just like, I'll just be the Warhipster. And that's where it came from. I have a big beard as well, so that helps. I don't own any cat t-shirts. I should get some. Nurgle Nerd, thinking of entering Youngblood's Golden Demon? You should. I think you'll have a great time. I would love an Alario painting video so I could use it in making my own Alario for my Stormcast army. I've got Alario. Alario is primed and ready to go. I would never. Here he is. Comes barreling in. Chris is the one. From the day I met him. That's how I knew that he and I were destined to be friends forever. Because there was just no, like... There was no holding back at all. It was just like... I walk in, he was like, you fucking hipster. I was like, this guy's going to be a legend in my life. If I sent you an Everton shirt, would you wear it because it's a gift from a member, especially if it was an OG Rooney shirt? I would... I would wear an Everton shirt. I would not wear a Liverpool shirt or a Man City shirt. Ulrich, you'll have to wait only one more day. The Gilliman video will be released tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be able to help you with your painting of him. I need to find my old original Gilliman that I did as well. Because I did one when he came out in Rise of the Primarch and it's nowhere near the same level. I think that would be inspiring for a lot, for me, and I think for a fair few other people. An Arsenal shirt. I think you'd have to pay me to wear an Arsenal shirt. Omar M. Hey, love the vids. Nagash anytime soon. I would like to take a... I would like to do Nagash. That's up to Alice. If she ever wants Nagash for her for her Nighthaunt, we should do it. Sorry for asking twice, but what made you want to go the Contrast Plus route style of painting? Scrooge, the reason I started a Contrast Plus painting channel, or the Contrast Plus painting channel, I should say. The reason I started it was because when the product came out, I loved it, and I couldn't understand why so many people were were down on it and thought it was bad. And so I uploaded a couple of pictures going, hey, I painted this in contrast paint. And everyone went, what? No, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I did. So I started a YouTube channel to prove that these one coat paints can work. And they can work the way that I like to paint miniatures, and you can get some really good results out of them. So I did I think it was Neophyte Hybrids was the first video I ever did. Having painted over a weekend with Chris, actually. We painted the entirety of a Wrath and Rapture set, which was the Slanesh versus Khorne Demons box that came out a couple of years ago. And we did it in a day, and I was like, I'm never going back. These paints have just changed the game. This has changed painting forever, and people need to see it used well, I think. Because I think if you took the initial reaction to contrast paints, a lot of people went into using them the first time where they just took a shade brush, medium shade brush. I remember it so many times. People going medium shade brush, Space Marine, fling it on there, and it looks terrible. And they go, right, well, that's never using that. It's a terrible product. And a lot of people were very angry about it on the internet. And I was like, why? These things are amazing. So I set out to prove that wrong. And I feel like after a few years we have. So much so that a number of other companies have started to make one-coat paint solutions. I'm not saying it's because of me, but it's because of me. AJR, always amazing stuff, Whip, so take care of yourself first. You spoil us too much with your release rate. I do not spoil you at all. This is what you guys deserve. Minimum of 2 videos a week. Absolutely, it's what you deserve. Brother Ferris has been a member for 17 months. God, you've been on this journey with me for a long time, sir. I love you very much. I'm very well. How are you? You going to Warhammer Fest? Yes, crackers, lad. I will be there. I will be there Saturday through Monday. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Shooting some videos around the school. Did Vince quit from Golden Demon, did he? I think they do the pins. They've done them as long as I can remember. They did them at the last one. There's also commended entries, and then you've got bronze, silver, gold, and then you've got the Slayer Sword as well. Captain Mannerings, I think they sold it badly. I agree. They were angry because it wasn't a Lazy Susan. Yeah. There were a lot of people who were mad that their predictions came wrong, and one of them, more often than not, ones that I saw it 2 or 3 times. Chris saw it a couple of times as well. Somebody saying that Games Workshop was coming out with a Lazy Susan. It was like, alright. I don't know how that's going to make your painting quicker, but fine. That's just very funny to us. They did sell it badly. They said this is a, one thick coat and you're done, and it is that, but it's also so much more. It should have just been, look, here's a new paint, and this is what it does. And it's called contrast paint. And it's good time out. Good time out for everybody involved. So yeah, that's why I started the channel. It was to prove the internet wrong. And then, Juan Hidalgo had the same idea at the same time, and he's an even better contrast painter than I am. And I think between us, we changed hearts and minds. David Fifth the Ultra. Your videos inspire me to use contrast and boost my confidence so much, even after 20 years. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. You guys boost my confidence that I'm doing the right thing. Ass Crush 'em. I love your name. I picked up the Sister of Battle Combat Patrol because of your old videos. Would you still use Basilicanum Grey and then Black Templar, or should I just go straight to Black Legion? I think at this point, I would just go straight to Black Legion. I would use Black Legion, and then I would maybe shade the armor panels with Nuln Oil, And then the leather bits I would leave just Black Legion, and you'll get a clear distinction between the two. One will be a little bit more deep and glossy, and one will look more like a kind of blackish brown leather. I should revisit some of those old videos. If we could get that Emperor's Children Contrast Plus video. Oh, is that what you want? What, a 40k one rather than a 30k one? Because we've done that one. Sorry if you've answered already. Sorry if you've already answered this, but is it safe to assume there will be painting videos for the new Seraphon? I will do Seraphon videos. I will confirm that for you now. Seraphon videos will happen on the channel, including Lord Croak. Bryant, hey man, just got a free membership notice in my email. Thank you for blessing me with a free month. It wasn't me. It was somebody out here. It'd be one of the many incredible gifters tonight who've been very, very generous with their time and their love and their money. Ozek, do you think contrast paints are good for beginners? I started with them and I keep thinking I'm missing something by not having a prior experience with classic paints. I think they are good for beginners. I think there's a steeper learning curve with them, but the quality that you will get by really going into a contrast journey will elevate your models higher than if you go down a classic route. And you'll get more done quicker. So you'll feel more confident in your painting. Adam gifting 10 memberships. That's incredibly kind of you, my friend. What are you trying to do? You're being very generous. I really wish someone in my local area actually wanted to play AOS, lol. Peter, if there is a way for us to play some AOS together at Fest, I will do that with you. Someone here called Boomdaka Aswagon. How do you feel about the Lions return into 40k? I think it's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what that does to the balance of power in the universe going forward into 10th edition. Because at the moment, he's returned and had a big battle. And that's it. He haven't had... When Gilliman came back, we got a full story about how he came back, went on a journey, made it home, spoke to the Emperor, walked out with a sword, and was now the Lord Regent. And we knew what that was going to do. Well, we didn't know, but that was going to change things going forward. Because there was massive changes at the end of 7th edition with the fall of Cadia, the fracture of Baeltan, and of course the rise of the Primarch. Arcs of Omen the Lion, I haven't read the book yet, but he's been involved in a battle, is my understanding it. It's quite a big battle and things might change. I don't know, though. I think what we need to wait for is the 10th edition core book, because that will tell us what that means going forward, because there will be a bit of a time jump. Some time will pass. Hopefully Gilliman and the Lion will meet and speak to one another. And... we'll see what happens. What Primarch do you think they should bring back next, if any at all? I think the next one is very clearly going to be Fulgrim. He'll return. So then that's all of our pantheon of the four. They'll all have their demon Primarchs. And then I would guess that a loyalist Primarch, the next one would be Mr. Russ, or some Sanguinor-esque super miniature to kind of be almost like a Primarch, but not the Primarch, because Sanguinius obviously had that thing happen to him. How did you get into Warhammer? How long have you been painting / playing tabletop? I have been doing Warhammer for 26 years. So I started when I was 6 years old, and the very first thing that happened was my older brother was doing it a little bit, but I saw a white dwarf, and in that white dwarf there was a metal Necron that was free, and my mother bought it for me, and it was this metal Necron. It was this exact metal Necron, and Chewie sent me this metal Necron for my birthday. So now I have 2 metal Necrons. And I'm going to do a video with these. And that's how it all started. And then I was in it for many years. And Lord of the Rings Warhammer came out, and that was a big deal for me, and that kept me going, and that kept me interested until I was about 16, and I played some 40k, and then came back, and did some at university, didn't do it for a couple of years, came back, had a massive breakup, came back, and I've been in it ever since. That's the line. That's the TLDR version. Meg, oh, thank you very much. You're a good egg, Josh, and we love you. You're a good egg. You're one of the best eggs, and I love you too. Yeah, I did finally find my my original Necron. I found him. A giant egg. Sorry to put you on the spot. I've just finished 10 Plague Bearers. I'm thinking of doing another 10 with a decayed skin tone like a blue. How would you do that? Ooh. Do you know? I would maybe go for something like... I'd probably still do a green. But I would maybe go straight in with like something like Poxwalker and then use a blue shade over the top of it. Probably Tyrann blue. To make them kind of that really kind of bloated blue. That, or you could just take... You would want a strong blue that you thin right down. So something like Achillean green would be really good for that. Frostheart would be good if you thinned it down a little bit, but it would be quite blue, quite jewelly. Achillean green, though, if you thin it right down, it gives you a really nice blue-ish shade that you could put over things. So sort of 3 or 4 parts contrast medium to 1 part Achillean green. I do not need a lift for Warhammer First Peter. We've sorted that. Alice and I, we've got so much stuff we're bringing. We should source you 8 more for a full squad. Yeah. I need to get 8 more Metal Necrons for a full squad of Metal Necrons. Then I need the original Metal Necron Overlord and a couple of the Scarabs. And then I'll be back to full. I'll be back. I'll be able to field my original Necrons. If they do bring back Fulgrim, do you think he will usurp Abaddon as the main leader of Chaos? No. Fulgrim doesn't care enough. The only reason Fulgrim would return in model format is because there is something that he has to care enough about, and I suspect it would be because he's been coerced into it and forced to do it by someone like Abaddon. I don't think he would ever be in charge. What are you expecting for the old world portion of Warhammer Fest? I'm expecting 2, maybe 3 model previews. Maybe even a trailer. Well, that's adorable, Meg. Auntie Egg. That would melt my heart to hear that. I think the video should involve you using said metal Necrons like finger puppets, given how you were just holding them. Yeah, like this. Erg. Arg. What did you think of the Bretonnian post on Warcom? I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was awesome to see some freshly painted Bretonnians. I wasn't really understanding the post as to whether or not it was like they're just bringing old kits back out. I think there's going to be some old kits that are perfectly fine and some that are going to be redesigned. But I'm not entirely certain. And it's one of those things where it's like, we don't know until we know. You see what I mean? But my only worry about Old World is the price. Well, I think that's the thing, Scrooge. Old World coming back means that old World armies that are on eBay and stuff like that, I think a lot of them will come off, but then you'll see them go back on after the fascination dies down, but they will not be anywhere near as expensive as they were. So like if you look for something like a Bretonnian kit or a Tomb King's kit now, they're worth like huge amounts of cash, but they won't be anymore because they're now valid production models again. So I think you'll see a proliferation of that type of stuff, and it will come down right in value because it's no longer rare. Fulgrim's Return will see the revamped Eldar range, I reckon. Then it's EC versus Eldar, spanking in the name of Slaanesh. There's only 2 more things for the Eldar to come. Striking Scorpions and Warp Spiders. And 4 characters. And anything new. That's it. The rest of it's all been redone in plastic. Yeah, that article of the painted Bretonnians was old kits painted fresh for photos. I don't think that means that that's all that they're going to get. There's going to be new ones. Fire Dragons as well. 3 things. Yes. I need to point out one thing. You never use any explicit language. Kids-friendly channel. I try my hardest. I do F and Jeff sometimes, but I try my hardest in my videos. I do not need to swear in a painting video. Sometimes live, one slips out. 1 or 2. I'd love to see more of the technique videos, like the Black Armor Deep Dive helped me a lot to get my Farsight Enclave scheme together. Yeah, I want to make those types of videos. I'm thinking that in the month of May, I'm going to take some time off. Not to not make videos, but to do just a pile of stuff I've been meaning to do for ages. So a video that I was asked, I had a good conversation about, was doing a video all about thinning paints. Because I did a good thing live once, which I was told was the best take on it ever. So I need to do an actual in-depth thing of it, but also thinning and mixing contrast paints, how that exactly works. So there's a video I want to do on that. A video on how to edge highlight, as well as some codified ways of getting better at it, including brush control and things like that. I need to do all of my what it looks likes for the new range of contrast paints, the new range of shades. I need to get all of those done. I've got 6 Shining Spears to do, which I've already done a video on, so I need to get them done. I've got some AdMech stuff that needs to get done. I've got a pile of Lumineth stuff that needs to get done. So I'm thinking for the month of May, what I might do is just take time to get a bunch of stuff out of the way that I've been meaning to do for ages, but just haven't had the time. The moment the camera is off, hooey, no holes barred. Sometimes after I've just finished a model, I'll be like, you son of a The thing with edge highlighting is I think there's so much of that. Getting those really tight highlights it's a case of practice makes perfect and understanding how much your brush is loaded up with. But then there's a method of edge highlighting which is going one step much brighter than you thought you needed to, and going a lot less and gentle than you thought you would have to. So like, you can sometimes paint a Space Marine where you do the entirety of every single edge with the next color up. So if you think of a triad, for example, in Blood Angels, you would do Mephiston Red followed by Evil Sun Scarlet. If you skip the Evil Sun Scarlet and go straight to the Fire Dragon Bright, and you just keep it to the sharpest points and the upwards facing points of a model, so like if you imagine that the sun is beating directly down and you highlight stuff that's on the top of the model, it can sometimes be way more effective and way more time effective and cost effective for you to do it that way. And that's about color choice. So there is that aspect of highlighting, which is one of those difficult things to kind of put into a video to write properly, because if I just say choose the right color, that's so unhelpful to everyone. But that's one of those things as well. I think that people ask me, how do I come up with my schemes, particularly when it comes to things like black armor? And what I do is I look at the model and I look at the highlight color, and that tells me what color black it's going to be. So like with the lion, I looked at that and I went, that's a grey green, which is how I ended up going the way I did with Cyberite green, Gorse Blaster green, then putting some Griff Charge grey over the top of it, and then finishing it off with some blue horror. What day are you at Fest, matey? I am there Saturday through Monday. I will be there every day. You'll be able to see me. See what this looks like. So I've bought this. Because I want to make a pile of content for those people who can't be at Warhammer Fest. So I want to make a bunch of stuff that's like, this is all the stuff that we got up to, this is what we saw, this is how we're getting on, this is awesome. So I would love it if the people who can't be there felt like they could be in the room. Yeah, so sometimes you'll look at a miniature and you'll look at it and you'll be like, what color is the highlight? It's blue. Okay. So in that case, what that is what I used to do is I used to do a blue undershade and then Black Templar over the top. Because Black Legion is such a good paint, what we now have is we have the ability to be able to do Black Legion, shade it with Drakenhof, and then once you do that, you need to come up with a new 2023 membership goal now. I absolutely do. We've had 85 new members tonight. My goal, like I said, I was saying earlier, my goal this year was to get to 100 YouTube members. And that was my goal for the year. Same thing on Patreon, to get to 100 Patreons. And tonight, 85 in one stream. Right, here we go. So this will be me walking around like this. So I've got a little light here. So I'll be walking around, filming everything I'm doing. Can you get a press vest? I wanted to get. I thought about getting like. This is so pathetic. But I thought about getting like a faux ballistic vest and just being like, so I'm here on the front lines of Warhammer. But yeah, so this is what we're going to be walking around like this. And I'd love to like do some interviews with you guys, and I'd love to see your hobby if you're bringing any with you, and I would like you, if you're bringing a golden demon entry, to show me your golden demon entries, and I would like to put it on the channel. I'd love to do all of that. It's a crazy powerful LED, that light. That, look at how much it illuminates my face. Oh God, that's enough to give someone a headache. But yeah, this is the plan. But I've also got some lavalier mics to do some interviews and things like that with some of the good wonderful people of the community. AOSI, hey Josh, great stream. Anyways, always remember you bring joy to others. Very few people can claim that on a regular basis. Keep the chin up. Oh, that's very kind of you. You guys bring a lot of joy to me. You know that without all of you, without the amazing support that you guys give me, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. And so, you know, having the incredible support that you have given me tonight, and being able to have the conversation that we've had tonight, and I know we've not done any hobby, any painting, but there's a Gilliman video for you tomorrow, and there are some more videos coming this weekend, because of course there are minimum of 2 a week. And I need to get a couple ready for Warhammer Fest Day. So there'll be a painting video on Warhammer Fest. And then there'll be a video from me about day 1 on the Sunday, I hope. And then there'll be a video about day 2 on Monday, and a video about day 3 on the Tuesday. And then I might jump into some alternative content. There's going to be so much stuff to do. DIY Perks did a video on how to make a 1000 watt LED light for all your lighting needs. Interesting. So cool to have a footage from the fest with you. Greetings from France, mate. You're my main influence into the hobby. Oh, Jesse, that's very kind of you. I will do an interview with Rez where he just goes Sue for the entire time. Are you gaming on the Sunday as well? I'm not. I'm just gaming on the Monday. I'm in the doubles tournament. With Alice. We're gonna kick ass. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna win the tournament. I'm gonna win the Slayer sword, and I'm gonna win the doubles tournament. That's what I'm gonna do. That's never gonna happen. Do you still use Twitter? The link in the description doesn't seem to work. I don't use Twitter, no, Cameron. I stopped using Twitter because it became a horrible place to be. I should probably just remove that link. Mr. Adder, from Liam, you inspire me, Mr. Hipster. Thank you, Liam, and thank you, Mr. Adder. That's very kind of you for the 2. Any chance of a stream for the online announcements? I loved watching together the last one, but being there, I don't know if you'll be able to. I'm not sure I will be able to stream the announcements. They'll have a stream up. But what I might do is do a little cheeky... If I can, it depends on connection. But we'll try and capture those moments for you, because those were really cool. It was really nice to experience that with all of you. And next time there's any digital reveals, I'm going to do the same thing. I really enjoyed that, so we'll definitely be doing that again. You're going to try the Kill Team themed laser quest. Can't wait for that. Yes, we are. I think Adam's booked it for us on the Sunday morning. Greetings from Germany. You are the main reason me and my wife got into this hobby. I got a Stormdrake army of 12 units plus Karazai just because of your tutorials. Thanks a lot for your work. Oh, you're so welcome. The Skippy? The Skippy? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I got 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. I think we're on the Sunday. David Cutter, I quit a majority of social media as it was not good for me at all. Now just frequent V-selective discords that are largely positive places that make me feel good, such as your Discord. Oh, that's very kind of you. We have a great Discord. It's one of my favourite things. You guys are just so... What's really great is you guys are so supportive of each other in there. And just so encouraging. And so nice. Yeah, the Discord is full of cats. It couldn't be better. Exactly. It's got my own personal little feed of cats to look at because I can't own my own one here. And all I want is some cats. Before I saw your face just now, I thought you might be the actor who played Major John Andre from the television show Turn Washington Spies. Oh, sorry, no. All I want is a cat. Alice gets really annoyed at me because I keep saying, can we just get cats? How about we just get cats? Granted, I do say things like, how about we just get like 4 cats? 2 each. How about we get like 4 cats each? We have 8 cats. And 8 cats is too many cats. 4 cats is too many cats. But 2 cats is a good amount of cats to have. Because then it's a cat each. And it would be lovely to have an extra cat. Extra cat? It'd be lovely just to have cats. We could have a Warhipster cat, official cat mascot of the channel. You've got 6 cats. See, I want 6 cats. 2 cats is the perfect amount. 2 cats and a spaniel. It's okay, you're better because you helped me paint Urukai for a friend. Oh, good. You can have Loki, he's driving me insane. The Warcatster. Oh, Flyan, you're so very kind. Welcome. After lots of lurking, you're worth it. Because I'm worth it. You're worth it. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Thank you. 87 new members. That's crazy, guys. You guys are crazy. 249 likes as well in a stream. I thought the Adepticon was going to be the biggest stream. This one has been by far the biggest stream. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being there for me and listening to me. And not pelting me with with eggs. You might still do that at Warhammer Fest, I suppose. But at least we'll be in on the joke then. I best bring extra t-shirts in the event of egg. Be an interesting thing to write down, right? Is there a difference in the amount of cut you get between channel members and Patreons? Yes, but not huge amounts. And I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Patreon's one of those things where it scales. The more Patreons you have, the bigger cut they take, because the more that you're getting. Whereas YouTube's a flat 30%, I think, is what they take. Welcome to Warhammer Fest. Do you have anything to declare? Egg. I have an egg. I brought some eggs. Why? Warhipster told me to. Why? So we pelt him with them. Alright, if that's what he wants. I wouldn't even be mad. As long as you didn't hurt me. You need a tongue-based coat contrast tutorial. Go back to the old strings with the contrast taste testing. Yeah, we need to go back to that. I tell you what, though. After doing all those speed paint and express colours and contrast paints, my water pot tasted weird. Like, seriously weird. I had to change it immediately. Because normally I'll do it for a day and I'll leave it, and then the next day it'll be fine. But the day after I did that video, I filmed all of that video, I was like, why does this taste so weird? All three in there together, man. It was creating some sort of weird toxic soup. And then I started blasting. Oh, man. What time is it? It's 10 past 10, you guys. So we'll stay live for another 5 minutes. But I just want to say, like, thank you for letting me have this space. And thank you for putting me in the position that I'm in. And thank you for listening. If you ever want to talk, I don't always see every message, but just know that I'm thinking about it. And I'm always aware. And you have my unconditional love for being the best community the world has ever seen. And it's been a very long road. And the road will always continue. The journey goes on and on. And I'm so glad to be doing it with all of you. And I hope that I can help you with your painting, with your building, with your playing, with your army building, with your collecting. But I also hope that I can help you with your brains, should you ever need it. And I hope that you guys know just how much my life is improved by the mere presence of yours. Within mine. And I'll be forever and eternally grateful, and I will forever remember nights like tonight, where all I want to do is celebrate the beautiful world that we live in, and the incredible, generous nature of all of you guys out there, and it is incredibly appreciated. And I will always do my best to be worthy of your generosity. I will always continue to make content. I will always continue to support you on your painting journey, because you support me on my journey through life. and that's the best thing that I think I can ever do, and I think it's the greatest change that I can make in the world. And as long as we're changing the world, we're doing a good thing, right? You will be able to replay it, Jesse. It will absolutely. I'll leave them. I always leave them up as on demands. You can absolutely watch it back. I just need a brain. Sandor, thank you so much for becoming a member. The Skippy, thank you very much for becoming a member. And I always absolutely butcher your name. Sawiki. Oh, this is really embarrassing. But thank you so much for becoming a member. Just tell me how to pronounce it and I will do it properly. I think we need another Pepsi challenge. We do. It's 90 new members tonight. $90 new members. And like I said earlier, my goal for the year was to reach 100, and you've absolutely blown past that. That takes us to 150. So I'm going to have to set a new goal. You guys have absolutely smashed it. You've smashed my heart to bits in a lovely way. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's time to end there. But thank you. Is there any model you don't want to paint? No, none of them. Never. I will do them all eventually, one day. But it's time to end there. So thank you so much, guys. You guys are legends. I love you. I will see you all very, very soon. We'll stream next week for sure, pre-Warhammer Fest. And then we'll stream afterwards. Absolutely. My cats want you to do a Star Trek guide. I will do it for your cats. All hail George. Indeed. All hail George the legend. I need to paint his dreadnought. But thank you so much, guys. We'll see you all very soon in the next one. Farewell. Stay safe and happy wargaming.